Hi, everybody. I wanted to talk to you about listening with your heart. And I read this in a book by John Maxwell and Les Parrott. Dr. Les Parrott. It's 25 Ways to Win with People. 25 Ways to Win with People. This is John Maxwell, Dr. Les Parrott. And this is listen with your heart. Listen with your heart. It says the most important thing in communication is to hear what isn't being said. And that's Peter Drucker. It says as a psychologist, you're trained to listen for people's feelings, not just their ideas. He says, finally, understanding how I was hurting her feelings caused me to stop what I was doing and learn how to listen, not just to the words, but to the feelings behind her words. I learned to listen with my heart. And I think this is important to note, think about when you're listening, are you listening to just the words? And most of us do. We're just hurrying, or we want them to hurry up so we can get to the next thing, or we want them to hurry up so we can put our 2 cents in to say whatever we want to say. But I think it's important if you want to be effective as a leader and even as a spouse or a parent is to not just listen to the words, but listen to the feelings behind the words. It says President Woodrow Wilson said that the ear of a leader must ring with the voices of the people. For a couple of years, whenever I was in a meeting, I wrote a large L at the top of my legal pad to remind myself to listen. In time, it has become a skill I mastered. So this is John Maxwell saying he puts an L at the top of his legal pad to remind himself to listen. If you're already a good listener, you're ahead of the game. All you have to do is listen between the lines for cues that will tell you how others feel. Focus on the person. Herb Cohen, often called the world's best negotiator, said effective listening requires more than hearing the words transmitted. It demands that you find meaning and understanding in what is being said. After all, meanings are not in words, but in people. Many people put their focus on the ideas being communicated, and they almost seem to forget about the person. You can't do that and listen with the heart. Focus on the individual and not just the ideas being expressed. So potential barriers to effective listening: distractions, phone calls, TVs, things of that sort can make good listening nearly impossible. There's some other things: defensiveness, closed-mindedness, projection, assumptions, and pride. And it says, obviously, your goal is to remove these barriers to good communication. Whenever possible, put yourself in a good physical environment for listening, away from noise and distractions. And also, put yourself in a good mental environment for listening. Set aside your defenses and preconceived notions so that you are open to communication. Listen aggressively. There's a difference between listening passively and listening aggressively. To listen with your heart, your listening has to be active. In his book, It's Your Ship, Captain Michael Asproff explains that people are more likely to speak aggressively than to listen aggressively. So this is something that was really good. This is something that's worth looking at again, because psychologists sometimes refer to this as listening with the third ear. It says, listen to understand. The fundamental cause of nearly all communication problems is that people don't listen to understand. They listen to reply. David Burns, a medical doctor and professor of psychiatry at the University of Pennsylvania, says, the biggest mistake you can make in trying to talk convincingly is to put your highest priority on expressing your ideas and feelings. What most people really want is to be listened to, respected, and understood. If you want to meet others' needs, make them feel like $1,000,000, then you need to listen. According to Burns, the moment people see that they are being understood, they become more motivated to understand your point of view. Listening with the heart provides a win-win situation in relationships. It says to apply John's teaching to your own life, forget about trying to get your own point across and put your energy into understanding the other person's point. Ask, how can I better understand what this person is feeling and thinking? Do it. Learn aggressively by eliminating distractions and focusing on the other person's point of view. Remember, the best way to persuade is with your ears. So this is a great thing to be listening with your heart. Tell me in the comments how you will listen with your heart.